Hi guys, and welcome back to the French Cooking Academy channel. Well, this is a lesson, it's more of a bit of a classroom session today. So no videos as the best format I found for this. Wanted to talk about the tools of the trades and some utensils and also portion size. So I've created for you this kitchen handbook where I had to extract all of the data from our book and translate it and condense it into that little guide. So let's have a look and see what we've got in there. Portion size for various products. So we're just going to cover anything that the amount you need to serve per person for different products. Okay, brief introduction. Why is a portion size, what is it important to know? Well, the first is, of course, health, and diet, not regulation, but you need to know how much is good to eat. You don't want to overeat, you don't want to undereat. So having portion size in mind, you know exactly how much of a product you can serve to your guest. And also, there's a budget concern. You don't want to overspend money and having to throw food away. So having this portion size is very handy when you go and prepare your meal for 4 people. You know that, for instance, filleted fish, you would need between 200 and 300 grams per person. So when you go and buy, you know exactly how much you need to ask for. I also talk in, as you can see, the second one, trout, 1 piece per patron. So 1 piece, that's when it's like a whole fish, I will talk in pieces, and in grams when it's just like portion size in general. So I'll just go through the slides and you can press pause if you want to make a screenshot. Vegetables part 1. Yes, quick word here. There's a lot of them, vegetables, and this is going to be the next subject. When we're going to start with the video, we're going to start learning how to cut, how to wash, peel, cut, and cook most of the well-known vegetables. And here they are, part 1. Okay, so that finishes our portion size. So just a quick word about combining raw ingredients for mixed salad. So I know it sounds obvious, but basically if you're preparing a starter with like grated carrot or red cabbage, cucumber, tomatoes, anything like that, the portion size for 1 person is 200 grams. So if you say you got 1 plate, you just serve carrots, 200 grams of carrots. If you start to have 2 products, carrots and celeriac, for instance, 100 grams each, and so on, as you can see on that table below. All right, now next, food preparation cookware. Some very, very useful trays and pots and pans you need to know about when it comes to making French food. The food preparation tray, this is the most used tray to carry any kinds of meats, vegetables, and when you set up your mobile station, as we've seen in the previous video. So great one to have. Preparation bowls, everyone knows these, but they are so important in the kitchen, and you absolutely need to get some of those. If you don't have much money, there's a real budget constraint, take a big one and a medium one. Food storage canister, kind of hard to find. You know, they look a bit like a cooking pot, but they're not. They're just to store liquids. Either when you make soups or you want to store in the fridge, and sometimes just on the side of the stove. Like I explained here, this is where you put all your spoons, ladles in water so you clean them. You know, if you have a tomato sauce, for instance, when you put it back, it's full of water and it's always clean when you get it out, and you can put it in another dish. Essential pots and pans. So this is more to do with the cooking part of things. So after the preparation. The saute pan, very, very useful, and it's actually the pan you should use when you are actually cooking meats. It's a very good one to have. It can be hard to find sometimes. La sauteuse, or I think there's not other name in English, the sauteuse. This is the shape, you can look at it. It's a really multitask pan, and it's I really recommend to try to buy this one, because start using these specific pans and you will see that there is a world out there with just using more than one pan is really, really great, and you can do a lot of things as I described here. Fish pan, as it says, you know, it's a very kind of a a specialist pan, but it could be very useful, and take a good habit when you got fish. You know, it fits nicely on the pan, and it makes for great fish cooking, and prawns as well. The copper saucepan. You can't really see on that one, but this is like the really small one. Because they're very expensive. If you get one of these 12 to 15 centimeters, perfect to make a very, very nice caramel and melting butter or making some little sauces, like a lot of great use for that. But just get the small one if you don't have too much money, or you can go all out if you've got a big budget. Frying pan. Well, what can I say? You all know this one. I'm sure you already got one. Cooking pot, same thing, everyone should know this one, but definitely one to have. Bain-marie, again another specialty pan. As you can see, you can have the standalone that you would put. You use a roasting pan with water, and you put the top one on its own. You can have multiple ones, you have multiple bain-marie, and keep. Otherwise, you can buy the other one, which is like purpose made. Very, very useful, especially for chocolate. Roasting pan, absolutely useful as well. Anything you're going to cook, large pieces of fish, meat, roast, anything you want to do. And this is the one you use for when you want to set up your own bain-marie. Knives. Okay, let's go quickly over this. Paring knife. This is the mostly used peeling and shaping, which is called tourner for vegetables. So anything to do with vegetables, that's really the paring knife. Nice to have a small one and two different sizes, a very small one and a larger one, depending on what you're going to work on. Boning knife. This is the butcher's knife. Anything with meats, basically you should get one of those, either a flexible one or a sturdy one, but they're very sharp. You have to be extremely careful, but it's nice to work like little pieces of chicken, try to get the bone sometime out of a piece of meat. They're really, really extremely handy knives. Filleting knife. This is the one you will use to take the fillet out of a piece of fish. Now, in modern days, not everyone is doing this all the time, but take the habit of buying whole fish and, cut your own fillets, and you will see the difference in freshness, definitely. Also can be used for a nice, when you're chopping onions and shallots very finely, because it's a very thin knife, it's like a scalpel almost, very sharp. And the chef knife, the one that everyone uses, as you know, definitely the one knife that represents the whole kitchen and the chef himself. It's, you know, how to describe, it's really a general knife, you use it for everything, but a lot of time is to chop vegetables is great. Nice to have, I think in my experience, again, a small one and a larger one, or a medium-sized one and a larger one. But, you know, I think a small one and a medium one is kind of better. You don't want the massive, massive ones.